Hey everyone, welcome to Tellor Community Call, August 17th, 2021. Um, yeah, things are going well. So happy to have all of you guys here today. First, just some quick announcements, updates on things. It should be a short call. Josh is going to go over the bounties, which if you guys saw, there's a new bounties page, which we'll show you guys in a few. That's super exciting. Um, Tellor X. So we're just kind of in the thick of testing. That's kind of what a lot of us devs are working on. If you want to get involved, watch the GitHub repo or see kind of what we're doing. We'd love to have you kind of help out with that. But yeah, it seems to be going really smooth. We're at that stage where there's not too many more Solidity changes, so it's really exciting. All the tests are kind of passing, which is good. Um, Other things as far as like for the miners, if you guys saw that we're going to be doing a new Telliot release, another one. We made some updates to the Ampleforth feed, and this one is one that they approved. So looking at the historical values and everything, it looks like we'll get it up and running, and then Ampleforth will sort of integrate us into their system, which is super exciting. So we're in talks with them. You do have to use paid APIs. So you guys shouldn't be sort of unfamiliar with it. So we already have a couple IDs that use some paid APIs. So, but these ones are a little bit more expensive. Just DM me if you're really broke. But I think most of you guys can handle it. And yeah, and then it should sort of just hum along. I know we had some issues with Ampleforth's ID in the past, but this one looks really stable, really kind of um, robust feed, and more importantly, is it basically matches identically to what Ampleforth is putting out. So it's super exciting. They seem to be excited to get it in and decentralize their Oracle. Another thing on the integrations, keep following the integrations channel. So if you saw, somebody posted there an integrations and a contract, and they asked us to like look at Teller's thing, go in there and audit their contracts for them. Tell them, the more people we can get to look at their contracts, the better it looks from a community perspective. So, we want to be helpful to, anyone who decides to use Teller. And probably the best way we can do that is to make sure that they're using an Oracle properly and that it's secure. So if they post contracts there, go have a look. Yeah, Mike, any announcements from your end?
We probably have a couple events that we're going to announce, not today, but later this week. Upcoming events for the remainder of the summer. So stay tuned for that. We just posted in the Discord, on a fun note, a Teller swag site where you can go online and purchase a couple different shirt options, a hat that we made, you guys have seen on the calls, and a tote bag. So this is just the beginning, I think. I'm curious to see what the demand is for that swag. There's not a ton of stock available, but as soon as it sort of runs out, and if it runs out quick, we'll be sort of incentivized, and excited that you guys are interested in that stuff, and we'll get some more made. And also, feel free to send us ideas of Teller-related shirts that you think would be fun to make, and you can be part of that process. So just go into the creative channel in our Discord and let us know what ideas you have. I think that's probably it from me.
How'd you come up with the prices on those?
We're doing it at cost.
Okay.
So we just want, it's not something that we want to, it's not a business for us to sell shirts. We just want to, what it costs us, we'll charge you guys. And
That's why I saw like a t-shirt's
fair.
like 1433 or something like that. I was like, who made these
To
up?
the
Like just,
T, cost
just
to the
yeah, like
T.
just
Yes,
round up,
we're
guys.
very transparent. This is what
I
we
thought
paid
that
for
was
these things.
converted from TRB using the Oracle.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's right. Yeah, we could integrate TRB in the front end of our Squarespace site or whatever,
Um,
Square Wallet. Anyway, yeah, that's it.
well, speaking
Go
of
ahead.
someone, we have an intro to make.
Yeah.
So did it last week. Someone who we also need to get their address and send them some TRB swag. Lauren is here. Lauren, welcome. would you like to give a quick intro to the community?
Sure. I'm Lauren. I'm new. I'm gonna be on the dev team from now on. And I think there was a tweet that I saw about me being a moon expert, which was funny. But I studied astronomy in school, so that's where that comes from. So that's what I'm bringing to the table, I guess. But I'm really excited.
Yeah, if you guys have a question that's when moon, ask Lauren. Just don't send it to us. Send it to Lauren.
I know everything about all types of moons, so hit me up.
Cool. And she's super new to crypto. So we're bringing her in. You just read the Ethereum and the Bitcoin white paper, I believe, this week. Yeah, no, so it's great to have you. Any questions for Lauren, guys? Anything you want to put her on the spot with? No.
Initial impressions of the white paper.
It was shorter than I expected it to be.
There. Well, so if you
I was
guys out
expecting
there haven't
like
read it,
50
read it. It's
pages,
short.
and I opened it, and I was like, the PDF is that small, but it was dense. So
Super dense.
Yeah, small but dense. Cool.
Awesome. Yeah, well, great to have you. Now, do we want to do Josh or questions first?
You call it, Josh.
Okay, we'll do Josh then. You can't throw it to Josh and then can't kick it off. So
I wanted
Josh,
to see if he wanted to, wait a little bit.
I'm good to go now.
Okay. Let's see.
Ryan, I think maybe you can let him share his screen.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. All right. So, hi everybody. Yeah, I'm Josh. I was working on this with Ben, our design lead. So if you want, you could to access the bounties, to claim a bounty and start coming into contact with us to start that conversation. All you got to do is navigate to the Tellor.io page, click the bounties tab, and forgive me, my Mac's been a little bit lagging lately. I've been cleaning it up. There you go. Once you click it, you get directed to this page. This pulls from an API, Google Sheet API that we regularly update. So these are pretty current. They stay pretty up to date. If you wanted to have a little bit of background information on what goes on with the whole bounty scene, you just click this little guy here for a drop down that will eventually respond. There it goes. Like I said, it's lagging Mac right now. But yeah, so this is just some basic ground rules as far as like giving a little bit of background into what the bounties program is and what to expect from it. And once this closes, I'm going to show you how to actually interact with the page. Sorry about this, everybody.
No, it's good.
And in the meantime, there's questions.
Yeah, I mean, well, how was working with, so this was like actually your first project.
Yeah.
How
And I
was
swear to
wo-
God, this is not how it actually normally responds. This is just totally me on my end of my Mac. This is totally
Cool.
not a thing.
Oh,
But anyways, yeah, what was the question?
no, I think I forget, but I did have one question written down. Any notable bounties you thought would be fun to point out to people? I think we have like what, 30 bounties available now?
Yeah, just around there. Me personally, I'm also starting to get kind of like Lauren, I'm also starting to get into the crypto space. So a lot of those bounties I haven't personally taken too much of a look at. It's been mainly more of the front end journey for me so far. But now with working with a ERC20 token contract and learning more about the ins and outs of that, I'll definitely be taking a look at it. For me, because I'm also in a beginner shoes, I would recommend just the documentation. It's a great way to, one, earn some easy TRB. Is this thing responsive now?
I would just refresh it.
Yeah. Starting with the documentation would be a great way to be familiar with the crypto space and have a nice way to get some easy TRB and help us kind of build out the documentation of things. Because that's always like, nice basic work that I would probably be interested in doing.
Cool.
All right, now that this is responsive-ish again. So the way that this table works, you can filter through I guess alphabetized through whatever type of job that you're looking for, something more build related, something more hack, documentation, content, or just, you know, other various types. And then you can also filter through the rewards as far as, you know, the highest reward amount that you're looking for in terms of USD paid out in TRB. And yeah, this is really lagging. So sorry, guys.
No, it's a software demo. It's supposed to be laggy and glitchy.
But yeah,
Like
so
Web3.
you can filter that way. There you go. Filters from the bottom of reverse alphabetical. Then you click it again and it just goes back to how it normally was. Same thing with the reward. You click it once and it should, there you go. Now it's from the least amount of USD to the most amount. And then click it one more time, goes to the top where the most amount is at the top, and then click it again and it kind of disregards the whole reward filtering system. And then you could also, if you're just looking for a specific type of bounty, you can click on this little icon right here. It just pops up a little submodal that has all the different table filtering types that you can just only see. So if you only wanted to be interested in documentation bits, once it hovers over, go ahead and give that guy a click. There it goes.
Hey, Josh, I can share my screen if that would be helpful.
That would be so
Oh.
helpful.
He's got it.
But all right, there you go. So for this one, now it's only filtering out and you're only seeing the documentation bits. And so for instance, if just to demo this, if I wanted to claim this bounty right here for ID specifications, I just go here, click on this little extra plus button, and then it expands the table.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
This really does build the anticipation.
I know, right? There it goes.
There we go.
So now that the sub section is expanded, it gives you a little bit of a specification on the job, like some type of just some extra information and stuff, any necessary skills that might be included in whatever job that you're trying to, or whatever bounty you're trying to claim. And if it, after that process of looking more into it, if it still, it seems like it's something that you'd be interested in, then just go ahead and click claim this bounty, and another form will pop up. Again, wait for it. There it goes. And then the only thing that we require for this form to be able to be fully submittable, so that way we can start the conversation with you and get this whole claim bounty going, are just your first name, your last name, and your email. So long as you include those, we should be able to start the conversation. Obviously, if you wanted to include your Discord or your Telegram handles, that would be extra helpful. Just, you know, multiple ways of us being able to reach out to you just gives us more versatility. And then, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of demo that right now. Should be simple enough.
It doesn't have to be a real name or any, it's not like we're going to KYC AML people who are doing bounties. We just want a way to contact you. So
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and click this guy, autofill. And then once that happens, once you click submit, it pings a Telegram channel that we oversee, Nick, Brenda, and Mike, and myself. And once that happens, we get a ping.
cool.
Close that up,
Well, very nice, Josh.
and there's the ping.
It's beautiful.
Boom.
Yeah, Josh did a really good job with this. He's been here like, have you haven't even been here a month, have you? Or have
Just
you been here?
about a little bit
Just
over.
about a month, yeah. So, and he knocked this out really fast. It's great. The other thing with the bounties too, for people to note, you'll see that we also open sourced this entire website. So now Tellor.io is in a GitHub repo on our main Tellor website, or on our Tellor repo. So you can just go if you want to help change the Tellor website or keep track of that. We'd love for that help. So a lot of work we can do on the front end, and Josh is here to help us out, and he did a great job. Also, if you guys want to do a bounty, if you're actually interested, if these are just ideas, so if you come up with one, just reach out with a price. Who knows? We might say yes. We probably want to say yes. There are also a lot of really good hackathon projects. So, Teller's sponsoring a hackathon and you need an idea. A lot of them are up here. And then last, if you want to do one of these and the price just isn't worth it for you, just ask. These are all just like spitballing numbers. So, if you want $100,000 to do something, we will not do that much, but these should give you some good general ranges for things. And there's also some good ones for non-dev. So even if you're a non-dev, we love people making content, doing art, getting us on podcasts, doing some marketing. So if you come up with a good idea, we want to make it because, like with Tellor X coming out, the general idea of Tellor X and moving towards like a DAO is like, everything is going to be funded and voted on. So like, hopefully these bounties sort of turn into hiring and paying these contributors directly from the smart contract. Like they're not coming from like, the team's pay. So it should be, it's going to be like an experiment over time, how we sort of switch to that. But, hopefully my goal is like in a year from now, we have like some core team employees still, but then we have like a handful of people who are like paid directly by the Teller smart contract and the Teller community. And I think that would be cool. So like using inflationary rewards to pay these people. Anyway, on to a different discussion.
One last thing that I wanted to add is kind of going off of if there's versatility with the bounties. There's this last little bounty right here just called suggest a bounty that all you have to do if you come up with an idea, just write it in the comment section of that particular bounty when you go to claim it. At this point, with how lagging this is, I'm not going to bother opening that, but just make sure you include that type of dialogue inside the comment section and we'll get that going for you. And with that, I will stop my very laggy screen share.
Cool. Thank you very much, Josh.
Thank you.
Mike, on to you.
Now for the community submitted questions. First one is, with the launch of Tellor X, how will staking be facilitated and made easier for tech noobs to get involved? This one's near and dear to my heart. It's something that's definitely on our minds to not only are we lowering the barrier to entry in terms of how much TRB it requires to be a data reporter compared to being a miner currently, but making it as easy as possible. And it's something that we've definitely as a team been thinking about, working on, and discussing it. And we don't have a ton of details, but our plan is to make this as easy as possible, depending on or not sort of predicated on what operating system you run, things like that. We want to make it accessible for even the people that are intimidated by this sort of thing. So that's all I'll say there. If you have any more details, Nick, about things that on the tech side that we're doing, but that's definitely a goal of ours.
Yeah, like Tellor X should be a lot easier. So like, like in my mind, like eventually we'll have like a nice GUI, so a little dashboard you can bring up and just download on your Windows machine, and it runs, and you can point and click and be like, I want to submit for this value, and this is the reward, and it should be like that simple for people to do. Even like, if you have a handful of people that are even like manually entering data, you can do some really cool things, like really cool ideas. So yeah, we're going to make it super easy. It's definitely on the roadmap. Like everything in the software space, usually it's the devs who are going to get there first, and then we'll work on building it out.
But anybody out there that's got 100 TRB that is even considering or just has a desire to maybe be involved as a data reporter, we really encourage it, and get in the discussion with us now as we start moving into testing Tellor X, and around launch time. It's super valuable for us to have as many of you going through the process as possible with our help, and so we can get that feedback from the kind of questions you ask and where is it difficult for you. That way we can sort of optimize for every different individual type. So
yeah, like if you want to be a data reporter, like ping us on Discord and like somebody on the team will like literally hop on a Zoom call with you and walk you
Yes.
through it if you want. Like
Yep.
we'll get it done.
Yeah, that's the least we can do for
Yeah.
you, providing us with that important lesson and what you guys need. So any of you early people will probably have the easiest time because we'll basically handhold you through the entire process.
Yeah, it reminds me like Spuddy, for instance, like 2 years ago, it was probably when Spuddy became a miner on Tellor, and like, we met him at like a local Bitcoin meetup and he thought we were crazy, right?
I didn't even have an Ethereum address to give you.
Yeah, like we had to
Nick
walk
w-
him through everything.
Nick was like, "What's your ETH address?" I was like, "I guess I should make one."
Yeah, and it was just the little Python miner that I had built at the time, like a little CPU miner, and we got Spuddy up and running on it, and he's been a miner ever since. And yeah, like probably the first 20 people I like hand walked through how to set them up with their Ethereum address. Like I would like send them TRB and an Ether for free to get them started. So we can definitely get you started pretty easy here. It's come a long way for sure.
Great question. So stay tuned for that and just get involved. Next question is, I understand Tellor's dedication to soft tokenomics, but is there a deflationary or inflationary target?
I love how I wrote one article on it, and now soft tokenomics is a thing.
Dedicated to.
Yeah. So no, I mean, there's no target. Like it's just, whether inflationary or deflationary, like that's like a lot of people throw those terms around, but it's like it's sort of meaningless. And like, do you mean, do we have price targets? That's a lot of times what people mean. Like, are you manipulating the supply to target a price or a higher or lower price? And like, I mean, maybe sort of like in a soft way, but we ideally our security would go down if we let the price go down too much. But we're not like saying we're going to burn all of our supplies so our price goes up. Like that's
if we had a target, you would say it would be slow, steady growth, stable growth.
Well, that's like, I think it's just like the Fed now has like targets. So like they target between 2 to 3% inflation, like most modern central banks do, because that's theoretically, like there's been like 3 papers that said like this is ideal for a growth rate in an economy. It's like you want 2 to 3%. I have big problems with those papers, but the general idea is that you want to have basically inflation at 2 to 3%. Most people in crypto would be really disappointed if the price, if your Bitcoin went down 2 to 3% every year. So you would be like targeting on the other direction, which is really hard if you're also printing money. But yeah, like I think the general thing is like there is no answer to it, but with Tellor X, what we're doing is we're building some of these monetary tools that more mimic like a real world central bank. So we have a little bit more control versus, like a brute Bitcoin or Ethereum where you kind of just throw your hands up and like if the price goes up or down, it has nothing to do with printing money because that doesn't change based on that. So sorry.
Have at it.
Yeah.
Next question is, has the team thought of collaborating with any educational institutions, middle school through college, to assist in creating blockchain literacy for the next generation of crypto inventors and entrepreneurs? I would say intangibly we have through our internship.
Well, no, I mean, I had the Lambda school people called me. Like I had a call with them. They're building a blockchain program, and we weren't like we're not officially associated with them. We just hired a few of their grads, so they reached out and they asked us how we could better train them. So yeah, I mean, like I think
I've had advertisements running in the local university system in Maryland for a few months now. But we didn't get any interest. These kids are just too busy partying, I suppose. But yeah, we have thought of it, and when the opportunity arises, we sort of lean into it a little bit.
I think we should sponsor like a T-ball team or something. Okay, awesome.
Yes. Team Tellor.
Well, you could use it like as like the Nike swoosh, on all the things, like all the gear. it would look pretty awesome.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah, marketing ideas for the future.
There's actually a local MMA fighter that I was like, that's looking for sponsors. I was like, we should totally do that. That goes to my gym. Anyway, that's another topic. This is a long one here. My constructive point of view, we would really like more action in terms of updates, news. It's very hard to find a solid info about the project, what you're up to, what you've achieved, what the plans are, and what the plans will mean for the future. All the people on YouTube care about is shilling your coin, saying it's going to go to 1,000, blah, 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 blah. But there's never any real info involved. I think for the community to grow, a lot of work needs to be done in bringing exposure, better marketing. I understand most of you guys want to code, but as investors' point of view, we need info. We need to see lots of news. We need to see an active community. So thank you for your feedback. We get this a lot, or not, I don't know a lot, but it's a consistent thing that some people, that's their perspective. And there's like a disconnect, I think, that I'm open to. I think we're all open to seeing if there's something missing on our end, but we think that our community is extremely active and open, and we do these calls every week. And this is not meant to sound like a defensive stance for us, but we like really put a lot of effort into putting it on our community to sort of put as much information out there as possible. We do these calls every week, and everything we do is open source, and we're like an open book. So we try to get that information out there. And I think that there's just a disconnect between what we're putting out there and those YouTubers, whoever it is. Like all it would take for is any of those YouTubers to spend one afternoon in our Discord to get literally any information they'd ever want from us. So we think that it's really accessible. I would say that a lot of those YouTube shillers just don't care about the info. It's not what sells. I think what sells for them is the cheap shilling, the clickbait stuff. And that's just my point of view there. So, but if you have any more like constructive criticism on how we could connect the two worlds, I'm all for it. So
The
go ahead
goal
and
of the
reach out to
crypto, the goal of the crypto YouTubers is to make money for themselves.
Right.
So they're gonna do whatever they can to make
with the
it seem
shortest
like-
amount of effort, the least amount of effort.
Yeah. So they're gonna say, yeah, you follow me, you buy the coins that I buy, it's gonna go up to the moon. By like actually getting involved with crypto projects and learning what they're about and talking about them, they make less money than if they just tell you you're gonna get rich. And a lot of projects want them to. A lot of projects want YouTubers to go on there and say, yeah, you got to buy this coin, you're gonna get rich for these reasons. And I think that's the disconnect that Mike is talking about. I mean, it's
Also, too, it's probably hard to sift through all the noise in terms of like what channels to go to for like the real filtered official Tellor news. So I would say to that, just I think the announcements channel on the Discord is probably the best place to go to see, back to back what's going on with Tellor instead of having to sift through all the other stuff.
And if anybody comes to the Discord and the Telegram and asks me what Tellor is about, I will write you a book about what Tellor is about. Just ask. Just come to Telegram and ask. Come to Discord and ask. Ryan's there, Mike is there, Nick is there. We'll tell you what's up.
That said, the Discord, like we moved to Discord as the official home of our community, and this is new, and so we're constantly looking at ways to optimize how we're organized in that Discord, so that when you show up, it's not like, jumping into a mess. You have you can kind of navigate a little bit more in an organized fashion to get the information you need in the shortest amount of time possible. But there is going to be some of the onus is on the individual too to go in there and engage with us and do a little bit of a reading. It's never going to be like completely spoon-fed to anybody. But thank you for the feedback. Continue to stick around. Last question is, hello, can you explain why reporters are not equal to miners? Will the mission be as unlimited as it is now. I don't understand the last part of that question, but
Some, I think there's a translation issue for some people where they use the word unlimited to describe the token supply not having a max supply. So like our token has no max supply. So for some people that translates as unlimited. Just FYI.
and mission is definitely a translation issue, but our mission is unlimited, and it's going to remain that way. And reporters is just what we're going to be calling miners in Tellor X, as we're removing the proof of work part of it. So they're not technically mining anything, but it's a similar process of submitting data, and we're going to call them reporters. So they are kind of, you could think of them as the new miners for the new system. It'll be much more accessible and cheaper for more individuals to be a part of. So we look forward to that. And that is it.
Cool. Awesome, guys. Yeah, well, thanks everyone for joining. Let us know. Next week, Chris is leaving us. So we're going to do an internship recap.
What?
I know.
He's going to school.
Yeah, he's not like,
he's not leaving the community.
he's still going to be
He's
here.
going to be around.
No, I didn't. I know that now that I think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll miss him. So we'll have a going away party. And we'll talk to him about what he's built, and he's been awesome to have. So that'll be next week, and then I'm sure there will be more updates and everything like that. So thanks everyone. Talk to you guys later.
See ya.